Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, so um, it's been kind of a rough week at work. A lot of idiots on the road. Almost got sideswiped a couple of times, so I didn't really feel like trying to stream at all during the week. Um, but today, I wanted to continue trying to play a little bit of the Satisfactory. Plus, I mean, I still got to get all those past videos up for y'all. Um, so we're gonna do that. Um, I'm gonna work on getting um, the. I'm gonna take about 15 minutes or so to um, take care of the. Maybe get like about two puzzles going, and then um, we'll get into some Satisfactory. Um, so hopefully everybody's doing well enough. So let's see. Uh, challenging number music puzzles. All right. So yeah. Um, I've been kind of kicking around the idea of maybe trying to see if I can get a hold of like a GoPro or something like that, and just doing like some really shorts videos. Obviously, nothing um, gaming related or anything along those lines. Just kind of speaking my mind or something like that a little bit. So you know, at least that's the thought line. What the hell? Why are you popping back up? I didn't want you to pop back up. Why are you popping back up? That's weird. Okay. Don't like that. Don't like when that happens. Program suddenly started on its own. It's like, wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure that I exited out of you. Okay. Pretty sure I closed everything related to you. So why are you starting up all of a sudden? Oh well. Alright. We'll go ahead and set this to public. It's going to be pretty much an instant show, so I'll go ahead and do that. So there's some more Conceptus puzzles. And we have another Warframe video. Oh wait, I almost forgot. I need to uh, let me start up my stage. I almost forgot about that. Let's see, part 2. There we go. Start stage. There we go. Stage started. Alright, now everybody can kind of hear me in real time. Not that, you can necessarily hear me in real time, you know, here on stream, but still. Okay. So we had 385. this time we probably don't have Blackheart with us in this particular video. Not quite sure exactly what I was doing in this particular. It's been so long since I did anything concerning Warframe. So I wonder if my account's still there. I would imagine that they don't like delete it because I mean they have a lot of founders that have been gone for years and they're still like around. So hmm, let's see. Hey, they're crazy. How you doing there, bud? Uh, Yeah, I tried to reach out to. Apparently, I tried to reach out to another streamer and didn't hear anything back on that one. So, or at least I don't think I heard it about anything back about that. So, yeah, I kind of figured, but obviously, I haven't played Warframe in pretty close to a year, I think now. So, I know that Blackheart plays from time to time, or at least he did. I believe I think he's had to slow down recently, I believe. I think due to work. Not 100% sure on that, but um, let's see. I'm not quite sure what I was doing in this particular case. Switching between um, frames, so it's not like I'm doing any um, like Warframe work. Oh, but um, I just saw work on um, the sister. So I was doing some work on my what's it called? The runes for a new sister weapon. So okay. So let's see. For a new sister weapon. Let's see. What exactly was I working? What sister weapon was I working towards? I don't know if I don't know if I can find information about that. Just trying to do a quick scan through the video itself. So I'll probably just leave it like generic or something like that. Just, hey, I'm working on the sister weapon. Because I already got the plasma. Not quite sure what exactly I was kind of working on. Oh, apparently I failed on my attempt. First attempt was the wrong one. Oh well. They changed the Requiem relics. Now they only have the glyphs in them rather than random nonsense. I mean, I didn't necessarily mind the randomness of it, the challenging bits of it. Yeah, it was kind of annoying a little bit in the sense that, hey, um, uh, it was kind of painful when you're having to, um, you fail it multiple times to eventually get the right combo. Like I kind of wish that there would be like maybe a little bit of an easier way of like figuring out the combo than having it just fail it once and then you have to reapply everything all over again to try to fight the person again. It's like uh, so. But I mean, it is what it is. You know. So. Um, um, let's see, Yodelia, Okella. Unfortunately, the sister name doesn't necessarily give away exactly what I was kind of working towards, so, or at least not really. So, I think it was like maybe I was trying to work on a sister melee, if I remember correctly. I think. Hmm. Uh, okay, I'll just leave it at that. Put the part number is 386. I think it's 386. Hold on, let me confirm that real quick. Let's see, Warframe playlist. Actually, hold on. We'll do that. Yeah, okay. Last one was 385, so this one would be 386. Let's see. Now, I'll go with that one. The thumbnails aren't really that great, but I mean, my thumbnails have never been super great anyway towards Warframe. Okay, recording date was a long time ago. There we go. I do appreciate YouTube's ability to, your ability to kind of, uh, reselect, previous videos, so you don't have to kind of constantly try to repeat yourself. It has it pre-selected for you, so it makes my job so much easier in releasing videos. I appreciate the fact that they did that, so you can basically reuse, you know, videos that you did, you know, previously, and obviously, unless you really want to be reusing the same title over and over again, which, why? Um, you know, you're gonna want to, change that obviously, but a lot of it's, fairly the same if you're playing the same game. So okay, there we go. 2 videos released. That's good. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started on some Satisfactory. enough talking, enough yapping. Let me go ahead and close a lot of this stuff down. Don't really need these up right at the moment. There we go. Okay, let's see. Go ahead and mute that just in case it decides, hey, let's play a video or, let's see. Anything else I should be worried about? Not really. Although it would be probably helpful if I actually started playing some Satisfactory. Okay, let me go ahead and put this on live. Get some desktop audio going here. And let's see. Oh, yeah, Satisfactory popped up there. Okay, hold on. I want to move my screen. Come on, help me. Stop doing that. There he goes. Uh-oh, where's my cursor? Come on, work with me here. I know you're loading in, but come on, work with me. Okay. Anyway, I need to turn up my volume here. I don't know how, are you guys able to hear much at all with the beginning music at all? I know that I have it fairly light. I don't necessarily want it like overshadowing my voice or anything along those lines, but yeah. Let's go ahead and load up my game. Of course, I'm probably going to have a little bit of difficulties trying to get back into the swing of things, so not really. Maybe I should bump it up a little bit. Here, let me bump up the decibel to like maybe 36 or something like that. All right. All right. I don't need to worry about character customization. I've already done character customization. Don't bother me with character customization every single time. Okay. So last we left off, I think, we were like completely out of power or something along those lines. Yeah, we didn't have any fuel. So we can probably burn the wood up, but I think we have enough resources for the most part that we can probably get clear of the upgrade 5, I think. So we should be able to kind of handle this. So let's, confirm that we have, 75 rods, because I believe I was kind of producing them over here. Nope. Apparently I don't have enough here right at this moment in time, and obviously, we're out of power right now, so it's not going to construct any more there. Obviously we need 50 cables, and let's see. we were really having this kind of go to work on this. So obviously it wasn't making any wires because it was only going into one constructor. And, so far to my knowledge, a constructor can only make one product at a time. So unless, maybe there's going to be an upgrade later on where a constructor can make two at a time. But for right now, we'll just make the assumption that it'll only create one for now. So we're going to go ahead and make ourselves. I don't think I needed a lot of cables. I think it was a total of 20 or something like that. But I mean, let's just make a whole bunch of cables. I'm probably going to be needing them anyway, so I'll just grab all these, use all these wires to make all the cables. So there we go. Yeah, so which is good, good because, I needed to do that anyway. Let's see, concrete. Don't know if I had. Yeah, I think. What? Wait, hold on. Oh no, I do have a. I do have enough there. Okay. So there's that, and then of course I don't have enough there, so I'm gonna need to. Now I'm a little worried about this because typically, wood as a fuel. I mean, I would imagine that, sure, the wood would probably be a better resource for fuel over just leaves. But at the same time, it might be useful later. So I'm a little hesitant on this, but I need energy. So okay. Let's see. How are we doing over here on concerning ore? Okay, we got enough copper ore still on us. Matter of fact, let me go back over here and see how we're doing on smelting. Okay, looks like we are clear of ore, so we're just gonna put some more there. So we'll have constant copper ores going. Okay. Not quite. 4 more. There we go. There we go, and upgrade.
Hub Upgrade 5, Power Expansion, completed. The miner, unlike portable miners, can be connected to conveyor belts and requires power to function. Caution: as you expand, the energy demand of your production may exceed the capacity of your power grid.
Yep, we're already seeing that.
The program was established because fix-it pioneers often experience memory issues after planetfall. If you are experiencing nosebleeds, nausea, existentialism, or an itchy scalp, there is no need for concern. This should pass within 5 to 7 workdays. Next objective: complete Hub Upgrade 6.
Yeah, those sound like, standard fare for any kind of sickness, yeah, nosebleeds in a foreign world, yeah, nothing to worry about. Why should you worry about stuff like that? Psh. All right. Okay, so we got ourselves the space elevator, the biomass, and the biomass burner. Fun. Okay. Um, so now, our next objective is to just start, you know, well, first thing that I want to do is we can start kind of trying to construct the storage container to take some of the materials you know, that we're making here. Um, and obviously, maybe in the future, we can, I know that you can merge and split conveyor belts and stuff like that. So, but I mean, um, it'd be better to be able to produce more than just 100, iron rods, for example, in a constructor, for example. Um, so we'll probably want to do some of this. So we'll add that into the number 6 hotbar there. Um, and then we're going to want to construct ourselves some more. We're going to want to make some miners here. Oh, okay. So it uses the portable miner in order to construct the regular miner. Okay, sure, I guess. I see that we're going to be needing a lot of concrete, so let's go ahead and head on over here and grab our concrete production that's over here. So grab all that. I'm gonna try to grab some bushes while I'm here so that I can have some biomass, to make other than just, burning the wood. Don't necessarily want to be, full Josh in terms of like, hey, let's go ahead and, burn down an entire forest, but, because I don't necessarily have hours upon hours to, do that, you know, hey, I do have a full-time job. This doesn't pay the bills right at this moment in time, so. So I gotta do with what I can. Okay, so I know I wanted to kind of create like multiple smelters and like another constructor because I don't want to just have iron rods. I want to be able to construct iron plates, and I also want to um, you know have one set making screws if I can. Although I don't know if I can put, 3 miners here. Um, so now here's a question. It, you know, if I pick up miner, will it also give me the 100? Let's find out. It does. Okay. There's some games where they're like, hey, you pick up the miner and, all the resources inside of it disappears, and it's like, ah. So thankfully they handled that properly, so that's good. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and grab all these because obviously first thing that I want to do is um, create some some actual miners here. But first things first, I need to construct some concrete. Now, thankfully, from what I saw, it was 10 concrete per build. And so, okay. Well, the thing is that I understand they're crazy, but there have been times when you know even the most well-intentioned of programmers mess that up sometimes. So I wouldn't be too surprised if it might have happened maybe once, but obviously got quickly fixed. So maybe, you know, potentially. I'm not, you know, I don't know 100% sure, so I'm not gonna make a full assumption on that, but still. Okay, so we're gonna do one miner there, one miner there. Let's see. What I want to do is make another miner over here. This looks like a large lump. Yeah, it was. Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, But yet at the same time, it is not an actual node. Okay. Pick up the miner. And then, let's angle it in such a way where our conveyor belts aren't necessarily running, I'm not necessarily worried, having trouble getting, having trouble trying to get the conveyor belts to not run into the mountain. Although, again, I've already seen it clip, I've already seen things kind of clipping in, so. Okay, I do have enough for one more miner, and I have a funny feeling, again, that because, I've already confirmed that these individual nodes, the miner can only have one per node there. I can't put two miners on the same node, so. And apparently there went the power. So. Okay, and then 7. Let's see. We want to have it kind of facing towards the smelter over there. There we go. Now, I do have one more, miner that I could potentially put with, well, Now here's here's the question. Here's something that we're going to test right now. We have ourselves the new upgraded miners, correct? So right now, can I okay, interesting. So now, obviously, granted, these portable miners are not going to be very, you know, effective overall in the sense that, you're not going to be able to set them up with the conveyor belts to go into the smelters, to go into the constructors, right? But the fact that you can actually put one with one of the miners here is interesting. Um, now, you know, obviously I don't have this powered right at this moment in time, so there's that. Um, so we'll have to see as to whether or not, if once I get this powered up, will this basically shut down going, hey, you know, I can't mine resources here while this one's going. Could be possible. Who knows? We'll figure that when we get there. So, um, okay, so, I want to do another smelter. Ooh, but I do not have enough wires or iron rods. Okay, so thankfully we have some iron rods being made over here. And obviously this one over here was making the wire. Oh, okay. I was under the wrong impression that um, the constructors only made about 100. But then again, I didn't necessarily see how much how much potential they have. So 344 could be not even close to the maximum that they can hold. So interesting. Okay, well, we'll have to worry about that. We'll have to worry about like how much they can hold. You know, at some point in time. Obviously, if they can hold that much, then I don't necessarily need these storage containers yet. But um, for right now, um, just wanted to kind of, it's a good, um, it's interesting to see. Um,
Potential edible collected.
oh,
If
thank you.
consumed before authorized is compatible
Uh,
with the human digestive system by Fixit, the consumer is responsible for any and all consequences.
oh,
Store
thank
this
you.
potential resource for later use.
Uh, sure, they're AI. But obviously we'll have to see, um, you know, what the maximum is, and then once we figure that part out, then we'll adjust, based off of the, whether or not, I need storage containers like right away, or if uh, I can kind of wait on that resource for the time being. So at least for now. All right. I wanted to kind of collect quite a bit there because I'm going to be needing quite a bit of the leaves and wood. So, okay. Let's see. All right. Is there some kind of connection there that I'm kind of seeing? Hold on. Ah, damn it. I'm trying to get on top of this rock so that I can get more of an area view. Aha. Okay. I wonder if so I can see that little, dash line coming from the miner into the smelter. So I'm wondering if I place it down right here, is it an automatic conveyor belt made? Let's find out. Nope. Okay. I was wondering, it kind of gave me the hint that, hey, that, this is like directly lined up with this one, so, you're gonna get an automatic conveyor belt, you know, uh, so you don't have to worry about that at all. But no, no, it didn't want to do that. But it's okay, you know. All right. So now, um, we are interesting that the conveyor belts are still moving, even though technically power is not on. Hmm. Okay. Um. Okay, so this one obviously is going to be going into, making the iron rods, which I don't know if I really want to make a constructor for screws just yet. Like I don't know how many screws I'm going to be needing right at this moment in time. I'd rather just kind of have the iron rod constructor for right now. Um, but obviously I'm going to need one to um, to make to make the yeah, I still need the iron reinforced iron plate. So let's go ahead and take care of that real quick. Let's see. 1 and 2. There we go. I don't want to make too many reinforced iron plates yet, so there we go. Then that into there. And then we make this focus on iron plates. There we go. So, right now it looks like, I'm good with the iron for the time being. Next, um, the copper. Copper is going to be difficult right at this moment in time because once again, um, because, you know, we have one going into, you know, one smelter that's going down into one, one constructor right at this moment in time, which is making the wires. But obviously, you know, I'm gonna want a set to make cables. So, but I only have one copper node right at this moment in time. So I'm gonna need either a splitter at some point to split the resources into, you know, two different constructors, split the resources that way, or I'm going to have to basically take this constructor and find, um, find another copper node out there. Yeah, we already have that one. Okay. So the next closest one is way out, you know, way out there, or, further out in that particular distance. Which, I mean, um, let us see how difficult it will be to try to get there. Is it? It's way over there. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, you know what? We're not gonna worry about it for right now. Um, let's focus on trying to get the energy going, and um, trying to like set up all of our energy for right now. I'll worry about the you know the trying to work the copper properly later. So okay, so obviously we got one power pole here that is handling just one of the smelters and constructors, but I still have what, one, two, three, four more, um, there. So what we're going to do is we're going to um, take that wire. We're going to make ourselves like another power pole right there. Then we're going to do power line there to there. Then we're going to do power line from there to there. Power line from there to there. Still need like one more power pole to handle these over here. So I know, it's not going to look pretty, but for right now, until I mean, it'll do for right now. Obviously, you know, organization and cleanup is going to have to kind of occur a little bit later when I figure out like better management overall, like where everything can go, how it can go, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah. I need some more concrete. No, actually, hold on a second. Let's see. Yes, constructors can handle concrete. Okay. So I need to make myself another constructor. So we need 2 more reinforced plates. There we go. Let's get some more. We're gonna need probably a good amount of concrete to handle the amount of poles that I'm probably gonna need. There we go. Oh, because I still need to do. Oh crap. Okay. I almost forgot. Can I take that one real quick? And then we're going to connect that one to there. Because I need to create another one that's over here so I can connect to this one over here. And take that one down there. And then we want to do a constructor. Let's see. Let's make it up here because I want to be able to just kind of build up to yeah, okay. So now the you know, the limestone that's being produced here will go up, we'll go up here to our constructor to make ourselves some concrete. So there's that. And then of course I need to get it powered, so let's get that. It's a good thing that I made myself a whole bunch of lines. Okay. For a second there, I almost thought that you were like eating the building there for a second. I'm like, what's going on there? Okay. And obviously we don't have any place to kind of put the output of the constructor with the concrete elsewhere, so we'll just leave it at that for right now. Pretty can wait, indeed. Okay, so yeah, we have ourselves quite a bit of a mess here. Okay, yeah, I think I have a lot of power lines already. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that one. And then we're going to make ourselves another power line pole up here. And then we're going to take that and connect it to that one. And then take that and connect it to that one. And we're all connected. So now all we need is power. And we'll see if everything works according to plan. So obviously you know, like Crazy was saying, it's not looking pretty, but you know, we'll do what we can here. So there we go. Fuse blunt. Okay. So it looks like we just have too many. Maybe just too much power overall, or you know, too much need for power. So, okay. I mean, you know, that par for normal. Although it would be nice if it kind of told me like how much it could take, or at least, or maybe it is. There it is. Max consumption is 48 megabytes or megawatts. Um, so now, not right at this moment in time. They're crazy. For the pro tip. Um, let me do a little bit of trial and error for the time being. You know. Okay, so pretty much four per there and five there. Okay, so we got. So based off the 4 miners that we have, that's 20 already. And each smelter and constructor are 4 megawatts as well. So yeah, we are definitely oversaturating this. So I already have 4 miners. That's 20 gone, so that leaves 28 left. So that means I could have a total of four or not four, 7 other smelters and constructors going at the same time. So I have 4 here. Let us go ahead and remove this constructor because, you know, um, for the time being, we don't necessarily need it active, and I'm afraid that that's, it's still kind of considering it as active, even though, there's nothing going in it, there's nothing being constructed from it right at this moment in time. So we're just going to remove the wire from that for the time being. But that still leaves one more, because I still have, oh wait, no. I should be fine because I just have one more constructor here. So I should be good overall on power consumption. Let's find out. Unless, of course, like the hub itself requires power, which if it does, then, well, I mean, I can understand it, but at the same time, it's like, damn it. Yeah, I don't see any requirements for power here in the equipment workshop. And let's see. I don't see any power requirements anywhere here, so I'm making the assumption that both of those do not require, both of these do not require any kind of power right at this moment in time. So Hmm. Oh, wait. Is this the max that it can do is 20? I thought this was showing like, how much it can do right now. But is this like, hey, this is all we can do right now is the 20 megawatts? Well, crap. If that's the case, then yeah, I'm definitely um well over budget. Okay. Um but I have a second one. Gotcha. Okay. They added a second biomass burner in here, so that's a total of 40. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Okay. So each of these is doing 20 and 20. Each of the biomass burners that I see here. This one here and that one there. I'm almost half inclined on moving the equipment workshop elsewhere because obviously, I'd like to be able to easily get to the biomass burners without having to, you know, you know, mess with the equipment workshop. But now that I've put both of them on the same network, it shouldn't we shouldn't have too much problems in terms of supplying power to the entire network, or at least I would imagine. But um, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and remove um, the concrete maker here for the time being. Um, you know, I don't necessarily want to because, I would love to be able to have it construct a lot of material there, but, you know, I want to try to handle that. So there we go. Fix blown fuse. Okay, so now that we have all that going, we got ourselves some iron ore coming out, going straight into our smelters. Our smelters are going to start working on them, at least eventually. Oh, right. I need to select the fact that their iron ingots there. Wait. Am I missing power on this one? Oh, crap. Apparently I am. Okay. Okay. Yep. Power lines and power poles are definitely a pain in the ass in this particular in this, but you know, it is what it is. Just one of the small pains that you gotta deal with. Let's see. Um, okay, you know what? We're just going to take this one down real quick. Put up a brand new power line. I'm going to put power line there, to there, power line there, to there. And I shut down the system because I have too many constructors and everything on the system. Of course, because it wasn't registering the fact that, you know, I had the smelter up on the network. Of course, I forgot about that. Because so I just blown a fuse because we're over the max wattage. Crap. Okay. What's kind of irritating though is the fact that I kind of want everything going here. So this is a bit problematic. Okay, let me see. Is there anything in my list that might help me out in this particular regard? No. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was probably going to be the case. Okay. Okay, for the time being, let me go ahead and remove the the constructor for the iron plates for the time being, and at least for now. All right, let's see. Hmm. This one's going to be kind of interesting because you have biomass going into a biomass burner, which obviously is going to give us the biomass supply to be used in our generators here. Or wait, these are already biomass burners, so these are some like maybe standalone biomass burners then. So basically additional power plants. Gotcha. Or at least probably additional power plants, or maybe they're a different maybe they're the potential for um, upgraded versions than what I'm using already, basically. So, okay, well, we'll go ahead and set the milestone here because we already got wires. But we don't have enough rods, plates, and concrete, so let's see. Okay. And now here's a question. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. I think I know what's going on. So, for the time being, once again, we'll go ahead and remove that from the line. Ah, there's none of that fuel there. Gotcha. Okay. Well, for right now, let us just make ourselves a whole bunch of concrete. There we go. Now, we need 24 iron rods, which we do not have enough right at this moment in time. And we need more iron plates, which obviously we have, we don't have our constructor going right at this moment in time to make the iron plates. So, we're just going to go ahead and put that in there. I'm just going to stack a whole bunch of iron ore in both of these, seeing that I have a bunch on me right now. Let's see. And we're going to just make ourselves a whole bunch of iron plates. There we go. Alright, so 14 more iron rods and we'll be able to set up another power generator. Okay. Throw that in there and the wire is going, or I saw 35 as the max, so I mean I could power that back up again, but it's okay. We'll leave it alone for right now because obviously right at this moment in time I'm still, we're going to be running out of leaves here pretty soon anyway, so it's probably going to power down, any minute now. So, So let's go ahead and gather up some more leaves and you know, and wood. You're gonna need to resupply that at some point. So at least for now. Okay. Oh yeah. No, I'm very much aware that, um, the prior, every game that you have any kind of power usage as, you're part of the game, they always, have like the worst kind of, even though we're talking about a society that has already, handled space travel, you know, you would think that, hey, let's give this person that, we sent down to the planet, a means of generating, clean, effective energy, you know, um, like some form of fusion or something along those lines, instead of having them, try to figure out how to handle, biomass at a really terrible rate, but, it is what it is, you know. This is some games want you to struggle, and it's okay, you know. You can't necessarily put, scientific, logic behind some of these games. Otherwise, you're just going to, go absolutely crazy by, how much some of it is like, it feels like it's lacking. Like, for example, if I was, if anything, if I was starting a new life on a new planet and stuff like that, like one of the first things that I would do to make sure that I would have like, you know, you know, more of a power source than a biomass burner would be something like along the lines of solar, for example, because that is renewable, you know, and if you're at this level of technology that you're exploring space, I would imagine that the conversion between, I would imagine by this point in time you'd have a, such a scientific scale that, you set up a solar panel that is getting like 100% of the, you know, solar, solar energy that, you get a lot more fuel efficiency that way. Or at least that's what I would expect, you know. So, it, you know, so to me, from what I'm seeing here, you know, it seems like, what we're given here is something like, hey, this company just tried to rush into space and didn't even care about doing any kind of R&D to handle, um, this kind of, um, you know, um, potential problems, you know, I don't know. It's just, one of those things. That's what I mean by, sometimes you just have to kind of overlook, some of the, um, you know, some problems or, some things that I'm like, you know, like we're talking about a society that is space traveling and yet we're dealing with biomass burners. It's like, we haven't gotten away from that yet? As a society, we haven't gone away from things that are burning resources? Hmm. Oh well. So, you know, from where I'm sitting right at this moment in time, it feels like this particular society, or the pioneers, or the company that's you know uh, you know helping out the pioneers, quote unquote, are doesn't feel very technologically advanced, in my opinion. So, I mean, it is,
Hub
but
upgrade
it isn't.
6. Landing platform hydraulics completed. Freighter landing initialized. Congratulations, you have completed onboarding and achieved the absolute minimum skill level required of a Fixit pioneer. Fixit looks forward to your future achievements, because a future with Fixit is a future with you. Tier 1 and 2 milestones are now available in the hub, and biomass burners can now be built individually. Your first official objective is to initiate project assembly by building the space elevator. This objective will take a significant amount of resources, so Fixit recommends getting to work.
Of course. Work harder, slave. Never mind. Okay. So obviously, tier 0 is done. The basic tutorial is done for the game. So, um, well, so far we've done an hour in. I could probably go for another hour or so. Um, don't really care about base building, so foundations and stuff like that aren't necessarily on my top priority yet. Um, so this one, the logistics, the splitters and the mergers, that's something that I look forward to. Field research. Let's see. There's the map that you guys were talking about before. Found in alien planets. Okay. New technologies. Okay. Object scanner scans the area for a selected item. Beeps at a proximity and direction. Okay. Interesting. Personal storage box. I mean, I already have one, but I guess this allows me to create more storage lockers if I need them. Let's see. Parts assembly. Assembler. Crafts 2 parts into another part. Interesting. Okay, so um obviously that we'll need to be handling that, for some of the um for some of these others. So, like the copper sheet, I would imagine. So, um used for crafting, used for crafting. So obviously, we're gonna need an assembler to basically take in like maybe copper wire or something like that. or just straight up copper to make copper sheets, blah blah blah. Obstacle clearing, chainsaw, yeah. Josh had fun with that one. Solid biofuel, the most energy efficient form of solid biomass, can be used as fuel for the chainsaws. But can you use them for fuel for the actual biofuel burners? And we'll have to see about that. Jump pads. I mean, don't necessarily need this right now, or at least not to my knowledge, I don't, but we'll see. Awesome sink. Got access resources. Fear not, for Fixit does not waste. The newly developed Awesome Sink turns any and all useful parts into research data just as fast as you can supply them. Participating partners will be compensated with coupons so you spend at the Awesome Shop. Gotcha. Okay, so redeem your Fixit coupons here for those employees going. We have set aside special bonus, milestones, and rewards. Get your coupons in the Awesome Sync program now. No refunds possible, of course. Build gun upgrade customizer. Color section. Don't really care about that too much. Conveyor belt Mark II. Okay. Well, obviously, well, here's what's a little problematic about this. One, there isn't anything concerning a better energy production other than what we've already have with the biomass. So I'm gonna have to obviously create some more biomass generators to generate the power needed to keep my current buildings going at a better rate than what they are right at this moment in time. So and obviously I'm probably gonna want it to. Well, okay. Now that I have the potential for the conveyor splitter merger and so on and so forth, I'm going to be kind of heading towards this milestone first, because I kind of want to have this so that I can start production of screws, for example, start a start construction for the making of the screws automatically kind of thing. So, or at least initially. So these two are probably my first two picks, to work with here. Base building can hold off right now. I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily care about that too much. Obviously, or at least, I don't necessarily care about base building yet. Obviously, being able to make things on foundations, on solid ground, on stable, on, single ground is, ideal, but, so yeah. Okay, so for right now, let's see. We have all the smelters that we need right at this moment in time, or at least I think we do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the biomass burner, right in there. And let's go ahead and get myself some plates so that we can get that going here. Right, we don't actually have any power going to this one yet. Okay, so the aha. Create ourselves a bunch of biomass. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Make some iron plates here. Okay, hold on. Let us. I didn't create enough. I thought I made enough iron plates. Missed it by one. There we go. Okay, hold on. There's an input for the biomass burner, which means we can have biomass being sent into the biomass burner via conveyor belts, which means something can use biomass, or potential have like maybe the constructor making biomass for us. Hold on. Yeah, we can. Okay, interesting. It's gonna be a bit weird having um you know basically putting in the hey, here's the leaves, here's the wood for each of these constructors to go into the um into the biomass burner, which will basically be used to power said um constructors. So, but whatever. It is what it is. So first off, we're gonna make that. Then we're going to make ourselves two constructors. Now, obviously, um, you know, first thing that I'm gonna want to do is get this going. So let's go ahead and select that milestone already. And obviously, I'm gonna need the power going for, to make the iron rods, the wires, and all that jazz. Because I don't think I have enough made. Well, I know that I definitely don't have enough of the iron plates made. So, because I don't have the power going there. So, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change, for the time being, we're gonna make that constructor go, so I can start, making the iron plates here. So, um, so we're good on, good for the iron rods for right now. Let us check on um, on the copper, on the wire over here. See how we're doing over here. Oh, we are good to go on that. So, all right. Put that in, put that in. There we go. Okay, so now these, I don't know. Well, here's the thing. If what I'm wondering about right at this moment in time is this biomass burner is obviously outputting more, 30 megawatts for a total of 6 seconds versus these that are only generating 20, which makes me wonder, are these just totally inefficient and I should probably refrain from using them from here on out? Like um, I should work on trying to just make myself more of these biomass burners for higher efficiency. Is that what I'm probably going to have to think about? Because, I mean, I would do that. Um, it's not like it's not like, I want to be able to like maximize my resources versus, you know, like obviously, you know, uh, the okay. Let me put it to you this way. You know, because they're not. I don't think they're really explaining it too much here. Um, this is 30 megawatts, like every 6 seconds, according to this, right? So 20 megawatts every 0 seconds? Right. Maybe I'm misreading it somewhere. Um, but what I'm worried about here a little bit is if I throw in this biomass, for example, into here, right? Is this particular burner that only generates 20 megawatts gonna burn through this biomass faster than what it would with these? You know, basically, a Mark 0 versus a Mark 1. You get what I'm saying? And right now, I don't see anything that, like, tells me tells me one way or another on it. So 10 per minute. $6.67 per minute. Okay, so it's not burning as much for the megawatts, although the conversion rate is a bit wonky there. I'm not sure. Hmm. I don't know if there's, what the try to do some quick math. Okay, so 10 for 30. Okay, okay. So just it looks as though the conversion is about the same. So let me hard to kind of explain this, without like some kind of whiteboard or something along those lines for you folks that might be a little, might have a little bit of difficulty with the mathematics here. Okay, so um, for every 10 consumed over here per minute, you get a total of 30. Okay, basically, 10 over 30 is basically 1/3. Kind of conversion, right? You're getting, 1/3 of the, um, you're getting one full bit of power for every 30. So, you're basically, um, you know, 10 over 30, you're getting 1/3. Okay. The fraction wise, right? Um, and over here, because I put this in, it's saying 6.67 for every 20. You know, in a sense, that is still 1/3, power consumption. Although, I'm still not quite sure what the 9 seconds is all about, versus the 6 seconds that's over here. Um, not sure what the logistics of that is all about. So, um, but what I'm gonna do, let's see. Um, okay, I can split the stack. So we're gonna put 100 here, and we're gonna put 100 here. So yeah, well, I mean, it was already kind of, and so um, it was already kind of telling me this information about the 6.67, right here. for the biomass. So I was already kind of seeing the information, by clicking on the fuel types. That doesn't necessarily, you know, that didn't necessarily help my question on, you know, uh, what the 6 seconds is all about, nor, which one was a better conversion overall. So, but it's okay. I just, basically confirmed that it basically um, it cuts the biomass at about the same rate from what I can see. Um, Although, again, I'm not quite sure about the 6 seconds. So maybe it makes the conversion faster overall. Like it takes 6 seconds to make the conversion quickly, um, and therefore, this takes a little bit longer to make said conversion of making the power with the 9 seconds. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing at this right at this moment in time. So, um, okay. Now, um, what I want to do right now is create myself some more wires and allow for myself to get, um, um, allow myself to uh, get some reinforced iron plates going here so that I can make. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make basically two constructors here, basically, both kind of loading into the biomass burner. Um, Although, wait, I'm probably going to want a second biomass burner anyway. Right. So, okay. Okay. Let's see. We're going to connect all of our. I want to connect all of our smelters, um, all of our constructors together, so that it's always constantly, so that we got, things already, constantly, working. Um, let's see. Hmm. Let's see. First off, let's remove that for right now. I think we've already maxed out that. Okay, hold on. Doing some rework here. There we go. One there. One there. Then we'll do a line line over here to handle... Probably going to be needing a few... if I'm going to have 2 burners here and 2 constructors, I'm going to need more than just a single power line over here. So we're probably going to do like one over here. And then I'm going to create another one here. Let's see. One power line to there. One power line to there. And then do like another power line to another pole over here. I know it's messy. I'll worry about organization later. Because we'll have that one there. So we're basically going to have one pole handling, one constructor, one burner, and this other pole doing another constructor, another burner over here, basically. These are all connected, and so that's good there. We're going to want the chainsaw so that we can get ourselves a lot of wood and leaves based off of the forests that are around here. Obviously, you know, me just going around, you know, picking them up is not ideal. Although right now I don't necessarily have any good way of like replanting said trees. At least I don't think they have any way to, you know, replant said trees for right now. So there's that. Okay, and right now, I don't necessarily want to construct anything, or, you know, obviously once I get the splitter, then I can split, you know, the copper ingots here over to this one, and we can start, you know, constructing, you know, wire and cable here. So, but we're going to need to do a lot more construction, I feel. To be honest, I think I might need, like, you know, I'm probably going to need like multiple of these biomass burners. So, because obviously trying to shuttle resources from the constructors over to these burners all the time is going to be problematic. I'd rather have it kind of automated. So, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, everything is powered up right at this moment in time, or everything has biomass to them, so. Okay. Okay. So now we got, you know, resources going there. We got smelter going here. We now have iron plates going there. So let's go ahead and make ourselves some use the iron plates or iron ingots that we have right at this moment in time to make ourselves some iron plates. I know that's not enough to make everything, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay. Let that go for the time being. Okay. Right. I need some more wires, and I need some more, or I need some more cords, and I need some more reinforced plates. So first off, we're gonna come on over here, grab ourselves some more wires. And then, let's see, I think I have enough for some more concrete, reinforced. No, I need some iron plates for that, of course. Alright, so I'm gonna want, a total of 2 constructors to go into, essentially 2 biomass burners. So I'm gonna want a total of 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Ah, right. Cables. Gonna need a lot of these. Because I need to power them afterwards as well, so let's go about 60 for right now. Alright, you know what, we'll just do that for right now. And we'll do another one right over here for right now. Then we'll do, let's see, power line, power line, then conveyor belt, then we're going to do biomass leaves, put that in there, and then we'll do biomass wood and put that in there. Obviously we don't have enough wood for that to start going, but I mean it's gonna constantly power that up. So now we need some rods to make ourselves another of the another one of the biomass burners. So What's this line all about? Maybe it's in terms of like, hey, we're lining this up, so that it's side by side. Okay. Invalid. Yeah, kind of was worried about that. Yep. There we go. And then we get power line there, connected to that one over there. So now, we have ourselves, the wood constructor, supplying the biomass. We have the, the leaves constructor for the biomass going into here, supplying the power. So now all I need to do is get, the chainsaw so that I can generate a whole bunch of wood, I would imagine. So, yeah. Okay, got enough of the iron plates. There we go. And there's that guy going. Whee!
To save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean.
Of course.
Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes.
Oh yeah, that feels very relaxing. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. All those eyes on you. Yeah, that's not, stressful at all there, game. Okay. So now that we have that, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically, construct a splitter. Because what I want to do is take all of the copper ore that is here. And then I'm missing iron plates. Alright. I'm basically going to take, the copper ore that's here, place it into one of the constructors here, that will, it basically be, constructing wire again. Okay. And then we're going to create another constructor over here to take the wire and make cable out of it. Or at least that's the plan. So, but obviously I need, yeah. She definitely has some interesting speeches, doesn't she? Okay. There's that. Then we're going to do one more constructor, which, well, Actually, I need more reinforced. I need 2 more reinforced. And then I'm gonna be pretty good on in terms of resources altogether. Obviously, it'd be nice to be able to kind of throw it, like maybe all of it into like one storage location, that I can just like maybe walk over to and, access all of it. But that's going to be a lot of um, conveyor belts, and it's not going to make things look pretty. So, okay, what are we missing? Iron screws to make a second one. Gotcha. Okay, so let's see. I need a total of 24, I think it was. Yeah, there we go. There's 1. There's 2. There we go. All right. Now, okay, there to there. And now we're going to, we have you going, or, we're going to have you going, and then we're going to have copper going over for the wire there, and now we need power, which, we don't have enough power lines to handle that, or at least, well, I don't think I really need to construct anything more over here, to be honest. So let me just do this over to here. And this to there. And we should be good. Okay, so next on the list, now that we got the logistics going, we can maybe work. Oh wait, we don't have anything constructing the screws, so I'm probably going to want to maybe work on that. But where is my power output right now? How am I looking in terms of overall power? I'm not great on biomass right at this moment in time, and actually, no, I don't have enough overall power being like this is generating power, but this one is not. So we're not supplying enough power here. So once those two over there run out, then we're going to be kind of in trouble. So I think next thing that I'm going to want to do is get let me work on getting this here. So okay. Okay, it's going to be a while for the wires to be turned into cable, so So we're going to hold off on that for right now. I definitely don't have enough screws overall to make the to make that. Okay. So this is going to be where I'm probably going to want to do a storage container. So what I'm going to do in this particular case is I'm going to kind of build one a little further out here for the time being. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because, I'm going to take, I want some of these iron rods to go, straight into the storage container so that they can be saved, right? But I also want to be able to take some of these iron rods. There we go. And I want to take some of them and feed them into another constructor so that I can make nails out of it. So once again, I'm going to need 2 more reinforced iron plates. So I'm going to need some more iron plates altogether, and I need 24 screws. So there you go. Let's see. Grab those plates. All right, and now we can make our 2 reinforced plates. There we go. And now we're going to make our constructor over here. There we go. Let's see. How are we doing in terms of power cables right at this moment in time? 4 out of 4. 4 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Alright. And then screws. Okay, and obviously that increased the amount of power needed, so okay. I'm probably going to end it here pretty soon. I just want to, I think, let me finish off the, let me get the research for the chainsaw, and we'll leave it at that. Obviously, I'm still going to need to construct said chainsaw and then start cutting down the few trees that I have around the area to generate the wood and leaves necessary to make the energy necessary for what I'm looking for right at this moment in time. Um, so yeah. Um, but hey, at least we got ourselves, like one storage container right at this moment in time. There it goes. Throw the iron rods in there. I was afraid that was going to happen at this point. Okay. Yeah, we definitely don't have enough screws overall to make that. Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm probably just gonna need to take all of it and just start, making all the screws for the for this. Oh yeah, this will be a while. But I think after this, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. We'll leave it at the point of, getting the chainsaw so that we can, um, start getting the, wooden leaves. Again, I don't know if, I don't know if they've, implemented any way to, not go full deforestation, allows for regrowth of trees. But from what I understand, that's probably not a thing that they've constructed or even want to deal with. So it's all about factories. So why worry about nature growing or anything along those lines? Yeah, we don't care about nature, right? Okay. Um, but yeah, we'll there we go. Okay. You've been playing for 2 hours. Benefits include 15 minutes of rest per day. Well, I'm probably going to be doing a little bit more than just 15 minutes there, game.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month?
Nope.
You could be if you construct, automate, explore, and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated fun, fun, fun.
Oh, it's contractually mandated. Ah, gotcha. So if I'm not having fun, then I'm fired. Gotcha. Basically, if morale does not, beatings will continue if morale does not improve. Gotcha. Understandable. Standard corporate fare nowadays. Let's not get into that. Okay. Um. So. Um. Let's see. Looks like we're probably going to need to go over here. Yeah, there it is. One chainsaw. So we're going to need 5 reinforced plates and 160 screws. Gotcha. And I haven't, gonna take a few more rods to do that. Hmm. Might need to be, I might need to consider collecting some, iron ore or iron ingots to construct the rods and make the screws myself next time. Um, so yeah, it's probably something that I'm gonna probably have to kind of deal with. Um, so, um, now I do have a lot of like ore still on me right at this moment in time, and these guys are like maxed out. So I'm kind of curious as to, you know, how am I gonna get rid of these? Maybe, well, actually, for the time being, unless, until I can like maybe make another just general smelter and stuff like that, I think we'll just go ahead and put um, iron ore in here for right now. Same with the copper ore. Um, we'll go ahead and put the hog remains, the nuts, pretty much anything that isn't necessarily needed for immediate construction right at this moment in time in here. Probably the same for the limestone, to be honest, but hold on, let me... Um, there we go. Okay. Um, so yeah, obviously, next time around, we're going to go ahead and get... we're going to need to get the chainsaw. And then, start cutting down a lot of the trees. Throw, the leaves back in here. Throw the wood in here so that we can at least have both of these biomass, burners going. Now, I don't know if if both of these are going to be enough for the need, because as you can see, the max that we have right now is 68. So, you know, uh, the possibility of needing to do a third biomass burner might be might be necessary. Don't necessarily like that idea. So many biomass burners. It would be nice to have something a little bit more renewable than what we got right at this moment in time, but they're not giving me renewable yet. So I would imagine as soon as we, uh, you know, um, at some point in time, probably with like, you know, constructing the space elevator and getting the space elevator, completely built up and sent out for like the phase one. Maybe we'll have like another um, style of energy resource. Who knows? That's something we'll have to contend with at like the um, next stream that I can do. So, but hey, we're through the tutorial. Yay! Little wheel. Okay. Um, but yeah, so far so good, I guess. Uh, right now, um, like the next milestones that I'm, more looking at for the time being is, um, like the field research here. Not necessarily, in my like top priority right at this moment in time. Um, I think my next top priority would probably be more towards the logistics Mark II, just for the I guess better conveyor belts, um, to increase production overall, um, and then maybe do the parts assembly next time, just so we can get the construction of additional parts because obviously if I want to make the space elevator, well, actually, space elevator from the looks of it, doesn't need a lot of like special materials, just concrete, um, plates, rods, and wire, which obviously that's going to be a lot. But I mean, once I get energy going on a regular basis, then the setup that I have here right now is okay. Obviously, it's not pretty right now. I get it, but you know, like we've mentioned before, pretty will come later. So, um, power poles are a mess right now. Something that I can try to reorganize at a later time as well. The fact that um, you know, the power poles themselves are, you know, if you want to have them going off into another power pole, you're basically having one wire coming from a power source, one power line going out to another power, pole, and that leaves you two to, handle any kind of equipment that you might have. So, uh, efficiency is not these poles game right at this moment in time. So, but I've already kind of talked about that in the past. And again, this game, again, I've already kind of stated like, if power efficiency was already kind of something that they would be considering, it'd be like, hey, maybe let's not worry about biomass burners. But yeah, that'll have to, that'll have to kind of wait until next time. So. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. I want to thank Crazy for stopping on by and chatting with me on this. Um, hopefully he didn't cringe too badly on what I've done so far. Um, you know, so maybe once I get like power going a little bit, once I can get power going on a regular basis, like consistently, a little bit better than what we have right now. Um, Maybe we can, get that map and go exploring. But for right now, we're gonna kind of have to wait on that for right now. Um, and I'm not exactly super happy with the fact that I'm having to kind of split the copper ore into two separate lines. Although it looks like it's sending out the copper ingots just fine, I guess. Based off of everything that I'm seeing here right at this moment in time. Efficiency for I guess the wires isn't really that high, I guess, but it is what it is. So we'll worry about that later time. So obviously there's other things that I'm kind of curious about, like what's on top of this little mountain here. What's that little thing at the top there? No spoilers, please. I'll find out eventually about it, what that is, if it's anything in particular. Um, and obviously, you know, I might need to consider, um, constructing, we have, another copper ore, out there, in this distance, 360 meters. So, I might need to consider, going out in that general direction and constructing um, another miner, another smelter, another um, constructor, maybe, maybe. But but I think for right now, um, my um, initial plan is trying to make this a little bit more self-sufficient. So that means, um, you know, probably getting that space elevator constructed somewhere. I probably don't want to put it like completely next to the space here, so I'm probably gonna put it down a little bit at a distance. Probably not over there because, yeah, poison clouds. Not. It doesn't look like a good place to be for a space elevator. So I mean, seeing that I have a lot of things kind of pointing in this general direction anyway, maybe over there, and that little divot over there, maybe. I don't know. Something to consider. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I want to thank you all for stopping on by and joining me for my continued adventures in Satisfactory. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Check out the rest of my channel for other videos, other um, playthroughs that I've done in the past, my other streams, my other VODs. Like and subscribe would be fantastic. Feel free to chat to help out with the algorithm. Um, Again, try to well, keep spoilers to yourself. At least until I've actually, gotten past um, this particular point. I mean, you're welcome to kind of put in pro tips per se, but don't expect me to read them um, or uh, comment on them um, until I'm a little bit more comfortable with the game. I'll look at the pro tips once I get to a sense of, okay, now that I'm kind of, you know, working my way through this game better, then let's work on trying to get this, you know, um, you know, let's try to work on efficiency, you know, a little bit more than what I currently have. So, but until then, that's going to be it. So, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll catch you next time. But until then, take care. Have a good night. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And I'll catch you strangers next time.